Hey, colors out there. This is Nathan. Doing another episode of Tips and Tricks today, and this one here doing the long-awaited painting style. We'll be painting with our brushes first underneath the line art, and then we'll do a couple tricks to the line art to help it blend in better, and then we'll paint a little bit on top of that as well to add more of a painted feel. Uh, First of all, I'd like to say that it's tons easier to do it with the open style of artwork, kind of like we're looking at Joe Mad right here. And this is the piece I'm going to be coloring. Well, not the whole piece, because it's going to take too long, but we'll worry about the female figure. It's a cover from PSM magazine from way back in the day. Metal Gear Solid, of course. The trick to pulling off that kind of style, it doesn't work for every artist. Say like a Dave Finch or Mark Silvestri, it would be a lot harder, with all the cross hatching and stuff like that. And usually I prefer to do it with the pencil drawing instead of if I wouldn't get quite the look if I had used Tim Townsend's finished ink piece of this Metal Gear one. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and I'm going to color this in time-lapse. I got my flats already done. I'm going to color her in a time-lapse, and then after I'm done with that, we'll start back up on the actual rest of the painting techniques. Let me see, the brush I'll be using to do the painting on this part will be a hybrid brush. That's what I call it. A little bit hard, a little bit soft. Let me get it. My hardness is at 41%, so it's kind of in the middle. My spacing is at 11%. I don't have my shape dynamics on. Gives you like those finer tips at the edges. For me, I find it's a lot easier for me to blend it without it. So I'm just gonna do that, and let me get coloring, and I'll see you guys in a couple minutes. For you, a couple minutes. For me, it'll probably be a lot longer than that. And, alright, let's go ahead and begin. Alright, welcome back. Just about, I think I'm done with the rendering on this, the character. I'm sorry, I can't remember her name at the moment. It's been years since I played. Yeah, just leaving that purplish color, that's fine. Don't want to nitpick all day about it. A little brighter highlight on her lip there. Okay, I got that. So here's what it looks like. Depending on the art style, sometimes I would go in maybe like a harder edge brush, get a little bit more of a painted look, but I think this is going to work fine. Alright, so we have our line art, and let's see what we're going to do. You hold down your Command or Control key and click on your thumbnail. That's going to load that up as a selection. Now go to the layer you have your colors on, and just hit Command or Control J. That's going to copy your colors, but in that line art selection. So you can see it's picking up the colors, but it's still the line art. So with that, what we'll do now, we'll go to our hue saturation, and we'll darken it and pump up the saturation as well. So you can see like the artwork is becoming like the color of the it's a darker version, darker shade of the colors that we had laid down. That's why you saw me go in here and put down darker shades and stuff like that, even though we weren't seeing it with just the black and white line art. Pump the saturation a little bit more. I'm kind of digging that. Each piece is going to be different, so you just kind of have to find your medium point, what works best for you. I can see that we got like these jagged, how jagged it is because of how our flats are done. But we'll go ahead and we'll fix that right now. On top of everything, I'll start a new layer, and we just title that Paint Over, whatever. Doesn't really matter. And what we'll do, well, first of all, let's go back to our new line art layer with the colors in it. We'll get a black. We'll do the eyes. Keep those nice and black, so it always looks nice. Look at that fade out. That's looking pretty good so far. Okay, back to our paint over layer. What I'll do, I'll take our smudge tool, and I think the shortcut for that used to be R, but now that's in Photoshop CS5 and later. That's now the rotate tool. So as like out of the box, there's no shortcut for it, but it's a little hand right here with the finger, so you can smudge stuff around. You can assign shortcuts to it if you like, but I'm just used to just going over and clicking at this point now. I don't bother. Oops. Make sure we got sample all layers on at the top. Let's go around the edges. This will soften those parts that we were talking about before with the jagged edges. We'll be coming back around to a lot of this stuff too. It's not just smearing the edges and then calling it done. We're actually going to do some painting on top of everything as well. Hopefully this video doesn't get too long. Let's just smudge those straight pixels out of there. The reason why I like doing this on the set with the pencils as opposed to finished inks is it gives it like a lot looser feel to it, so you don't have to be as precise. Kind of like when you're doing some painting, like on an actual canvas. I always find like the looser you are, the better it looks. A lot of times you'll try and do a painted type of style on the computer, and it just looks totally totally fake. And anybody could just look at it like, oh, that was done in the computer. So I like to keep it loose, a little bit more natural feeling. Just going, still just going around smudging pixels. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do a monthly book like this. It just takes too long. Maybe hire somebody as a pixel pusher to go in there after you're done coloring it. But yeah, the guys that originally colored this PSM cover, Liquid, actually they were like Arn Lucen and Chris Leitner. Both worked with those guys when I was at Extreme Studios, both amazing people, and Chris directly helped me get started on the path to comic book coloring and taught me a great deal about what I know, lighting and stuff like that. Same with the other guy at Extreme Studios was Byron Tallman, and at first he has a totally different way of looking at things, and before I was always stuck on coloring everything local colors. It's like on Wetworks, I would always get my editor would get upset. It's like, man, I just get sick and tired of all these grays and browns and everything. I was like, well, they're big scenes. Everybody's in a cave. What do you want me to do? And Byron was the kind of guy. He would just go in there and yeah, it's like a bunch of rocks and stuff like that. But the cave is this cave is purple, or just getting some mood lighting in there. And never really early on, I didn't have that grasp on things, and he really taught me a lot of stuff as well. Yeah, besides like those early days, not since I've been doing a lot of stuff in advertising lately. Well, not lately, like the last 10 years. It's been a lot of color stuff. It's mainly been on the job. Pretty much all my Photoshop is from on the job training. Another guy I like to thank would be Jochen Welchen's Guru FX. He's the one that first got me onto Photoshop. He taught me how to set up my line art on my own layer and stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, it's always been on the job training for me as far as Photoshop goes. But if you ask me, I think that's the best way to learn. You're gonna you're going to make mistakes, and the sooner you get over that, that fear, the better, I think the better and faster you're going to learn. So we're going to loosen up her hair here a little bit more and push these strands out. That'll also help with the painted look that we're going after here. So let's get in there. Oops. Actually, I got my regular brush. So now I can kind of go in and kind of shape this a little bit more, blend a little bit more into these shadows and everything. Oops, let me get our eyebrow here. I'll go ahead and throw in a little bit of this this white. Actually, I'm going to switch here to a harder edge brush. If I can find it. Hard edge brush. There we go. I'm going to have my shape dynamics on for this. Give me a little bit more control over what I want to do here. So again, we're just going in. I'm going to paint a little bit, smudge a little bit. Just to keep with the look, keep it consistent. Well, that looks pretty good. Go a little bit of white. Adds more, hit up this leather here to make it look really nice and hot. Nice bright light hitting on it. Yeah, that punches it up really nicely. Do the same down here. Oops. And on this stuff down here too. Let's sharpen up the edges on here a little bit. Define that edge a little bit more. I don't want to get in there to the point where we're just laying down single pixels. Like I said, I want to keep it loose. So, yeah, that looks good. Let's define this, oops, this edge some more. Oops, get in there. Let's smudge this out. And do the same thing on this other blade. Nah. Trying to think what else we could do on this. So maybe we can add like a little bit of a rim light. Maybe there's like a bluish light coming from this this direction. Let me do that on a separate layer in case I want to change the color or something later. Hit her nose. That part of her lips. This side of her breast as well. It's looking okay. Let me go back to paint over here. Let me blend this in a little bit more. Maybe oops, blend in like that because the shadow. Yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. Here we'll just do a white. Let's darken these guys back here. Let's do some blue and darken them. Maybe they can see what we're dealing with here. And then take that same layer and put it on top. Let's see, do a Gaussian blur. I don't know, let's do 5, I guess. We'll put some nice little glow on it. Let's see what happens. We'll do a new layer on top of our paint over layer, but underneath the rim light. We'll hold our Alt or Option key, merge visible, that stamps everything onto one layer that's underneath it. So we'll take that, Gaussian blur, that layer. We'll do that 7. Let's try this out. Put that on overlay, and oh, you know what happened? I messed it up because I have my old line art layer on. Yeah, I forgot to throw that one away. That messed me up. Alright, so let's do this again. Paint over on. So merge visible. Alright, there we go. Then blur at 7 pixels, set it to overlay. That's looking better. I dropped it down to 30%. I think gives us a nice effect. And then with the turning the rim light that we just did, turn that back on and inner glow back on, and I think we're good to go. I'm gonna get a soft eraser. I'll erase this a little bit more down here at the bottom, just the glowy part. Of course, it's going to be brighter up towards the top, so we'll do that. And soft airbrush, a little highlight on both of these blades here. That's a little dab. And I think with that, we can call it quits. So, let me see. Huh, something happened weird here. Sorry, let me fix it. It's just bugging me. Okay. Oh, okay. I know what it was. It was when we did the paint over, when I darkened these guys back here to have like this weird effect up on top here. So it kind of goes all the way around. Alright, well, you guys get the gist of the how I do the painted look. Other people might have different approaches, but this is the way I like to do it. It's a lot easier workflow, I think, than starting from scratch and just painting over the whole thing. I like to incorporate the line art so that the artist's work still shows through. And yeah, that's going to do it. Check out the template Kickstarter campaign. I'll put the link in the description. Just kicked off yesterday. Hoping to get the trade paperback put together. If you like my videos, please remember to like. It helps me out. Helps my videos get seen. The way that they're indexed, the more likes the video has, more likely YouTube is to recommend it. So yeah, if you could do that, I'd really appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to let me know. Send me a message on YouTube or on the DeviantArt account, lummage.deviantart.com. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching, and yeah, peace out.